Hello and welcome to Free Jackson 5, a series of brief interviews where you get to know your favorite New England players. Free Jackson 5 is brought to you by Arbella Insurance, the official home and auto insurance provider of the New England Free Jacks. I'm Dallin Stanford, former US Eagle and current World Rugby commentator. And in this episode, we spent 5 glorious minutes with Harrison Boyle, one of the young backline sensations making a huge impact in Major League Rugby 2021. Hello, my friend. How are you keeping the Red Ghost?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Dallin. We just finished training for the day, so just back home in Cambridge. So good to have a chat to you.
Yeah, awesome, pal. Well, thanks for popping on. Let's rewind it back. When you were a youngster, tell us about your hometown, what your childhood was like, and also include, of course, very importantly, where you were born.
I was born in Boston, actually, so it's quite cool to be back here and everything. But I was only here for 6 months. We moved back to Wellington, where I grew up. I spent 18 years of my life there and really enjoyed it. And then I moved down to Otago, which is where the Highlanders play, for people who don't know New Zealand too well. And I did my study there for the last 3 years, and then made my way back to my place of birth and loving it here.
It's so great that you're back in Massachusetts. Let's talk a bit about your family members. Any of them, did they shine on the sports field back in the day or currently?
Everyone I meet who knew my parents always tell me if I had any sporting abilities, it's definitely not come from my dad. It's definitely from my mum. So I don't know whether they're just winding him up or whether it's true. So
Well, I like that they shred your father, though. That's always nice to get a little bit of banter going.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. He loves it as well.
Let's talk about the Red Ghost. Where did you get the nickname and how long have you had it for?
It's a bit of a random story, actually. We coach Ryan Martin. He was the attack coach for the Otago team as well, that I spent a bit of time with the last couple of years. And we were just in the huddle at the end of one of our trainings, and we do this thing where you sign off. So someone hands in the middle and everyone says something or whatever. And he said, "I sign off on the Red Ghost." And everyone sort of looked around like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it must be me." So I went into the middle and did the sign off. But he's quite well known for giving people random nicknames or saying people's names in a weird way. So yeah, it was just another one of his tricks.
Oh, the Ted Lasso of rugby. He's genius. I mean, Joe Johnston called the mechanic. I think he may have given the nickname to him as well.
Yeah, he's given most people a nickname at some point.
Oh, good. Now, listen, let's stay with that topic, though. Are there players from back home that you've either played against or with, or that you just know that are in the MLR?
In our team, the Free Jacks, I've played with both Aleki, Morris Lome, and Stefan Asi back at Otago. So that was really cool to have them come over as well. Also, playing for Austin is Jamie McIntosh, Whopper. I know he's a pretty passionate man about his rugby and his team, so that'll be good. I mean, there's a lot of players over here that, especially the older ones who I sort of watched growing up. And it was pretty cool getting to play Matt Giteau and Adam Ashley Cooper. So that was first week of the MLR, so that was a really cool start.
Your very first game against LA, you line up against these legends. So how would you compare the level to back home?
Yeah, it's very high. It is a wee bit hard to tell at the moment because I think probably the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been most teams' first rounds. We didn't really have much of a preseason because of COVID and stuff like that. So I think a lot of the teams probably still getting their rust out and making connections with the different players. So I think probably by halfway through the season, we'll see the games be even better than they have been, and standards keep lifting. And I think over the next couple of years, it'll just keep getting better. The local players, they've really impressed me as well with the way they've learnt, and they've been willing to learn as well off different people. We've got a few older guys in our team who have played some good level rugby, so they've got a lot of knowledge that we can all learn off.
Okay, let's switch to a couple off the field questions. Do you have an embarrassing moment?
The first thing that comes to my mind when you ask that question was actually we went to one of the Red Sox games during our bye week, and I went to pick something up from the seat in front of me, and I forgot that the seats they fold back up if you're not sitting on them. So I've gone to sit back down, and I've just sat straight on the concrete, and they're not that big, the seats, so I've kind of been a bit stuck there for a bit trying to figure out how to get myself back up. And I was hoping no one would notice, but I was with a few of the other boys as well, and yeah, they let me know about it.
Oh, that's brilliant. I will say, actually, it gets most people because we're not used to sitting on the seats that flick back up. Yeah, so that's a good one. And it happened this weekend too. That's brilliant. 3 famous people that you would love to meet.
I'll go with a bit of an American theme. Love to meet Tom Brady. He's just an absolute freak, what he's done in his career and the longevity and how he's controlled a team and a league as well. I'd also like to meet LeBron James, another freak athlete and at the top of his game for a long time. And then someone a bit different, Mark Zuckerberg, another guy who's just changed the world and everything that he's done. Clearly a very smart man.
Overall, what has your experience been like since joining the Free Jacks organization?
I guess I came over here and I didn't really know what to expect, but as soon as I got here, I was met by the coaches and the management off the plane. It's been extremely welcoming. The fans are awesome. We saw that at the first home game, and that wasn't even the full capacity that due to COVID restrictions. So I'm absolutely loving it here. My teammates are amazing, and I'm really excited to see what we can do as a team, because I know we still haven't put a lot onto the field of what we would have wanted to. So we just want to keep building each week.
That's awesome, Rickos. Well, listen, thanks for joining us in Free Jacks in 5, brought to you by Arbella Insurance, the official home and auto insurance partner of the New England Free Jacks. Fans can get their tickets to the home matches and merchandise, which ships internationally at freejacks.com. As they say here, let's ride.
That's right. Cheers, Dylan.